January 1st, 1995, was a date that marked a massive shift in the history of Europe. As the world celebrated the start of a new year, three countries took a bold step toward unity. Sweden, Austria, and Finland officially joined the European Union. But how did this moment come to be? What were the challenges and opportunities? And how has this expansion shaped Europe in the last 3 decades? Let's start with the origins of the European Union. Born out of the devastation of World War II, the EU's predecessor, the European Economic Community, was created in 1957 to foster peace and economic collaboration among European nations. Over the decades, the EU evolved, welcoming new members and becoming a beacon of cooperation. However, not every European nation was part of this journey. For much of the 20th century, Sweden, Austria, and Finland maintained their neutrality. These countries walked a delicate tightrope, balancing relations with both NATO and the Warsaw Pact during the tense years of the Cold War. Their neutralities was a cornerstone to their identities, shaped by their unique histories and geopolitical positions. The fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989 and the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 changed everything. Europe was no longer divided by the Iron Curtain, and the continent was moving toward greater integration. Sweden, Austria, and Finland all saw an opportunity to join the European project. Economics played a huge role in this decision. These three nations were already deeply connected to the EU through trade agreements. For example, Sweden had long-standing ties with European markets, and Austria had historically served as a bridge between Western and Eastern Europe. Finland, emerging from decades of economic reliance on the Soviet Union, sought to diversify and strengthen its economy within the framework of the EU. But joining the EU wasn't simply just a matter of signing on the dotted line. The process was complex, requiring alignment with EU standards on trade, environmental policies, and human rights. A treaty in 1993, which formally established the EU, set strict criteria for membership, ensuring that new members shared the Union's values and principles. In Sweden, Austria, and Finland, public opinion was divided. Supporters highlighted the economic benefits, such as access to the EU's single market, which allowed for free movement of goods, services, capital, and people. Critics, however, feared losing national sovereignty and control over domestic policies. In each country, debates were passionate, culminating in referendums that ultimately paved the way for membership. On June 24th, 1994, the Accession Treaty was signed, marking a milestone in European history. This agreement formally invited Sweden, Austria, and Finland into the EU, effective January 1st, 1995. When the clock struck midnight on New Year's Day, the three nations officially became EU members. It wasn't just a political event, but also a cultural shift. EU flags were raised, and citizens celebrated the promise of a brighter future, one rooted in collaboration and unity. Each nation brought something unique to the EU table. Sweden quickly became a leader in environmental policy, pushing the Union towards sustainable practices. Austria contributed its rich cultural heritage and expertise in diplomacy, often acting as a mediator in EU negotiations. And Finland, known for its world-class education and technology sectors, strengthened the EU's focus on innovation. But this expansion wasn't without challenges. Integrating three new members required careful planning and negotiation. Critics argued that the EU's growing size made it harder to maintain consensus. Others worried about how these new members would navigate sensitive issues like defense, given their histories of neutrality. The 1995 expansion also set the stage for deeper economic integration, including the introduction of the euro currency in 1999. While Sweden, Austria, and Finland didn't immediately adopt the euro, their participation in the EU strengthened the single market and reinforced its global economic influence. Over the years, the EU has faced new challenges, from climate change to digital trade. These three countries have all been at the forefront of these discussions, advocating for progressive policies that reflect their national priorities. Finland has championed digital innovation, while Sweden has been a vocal advocate for green energy initiatives. The 1995 expansion of the EU was a turning point, demonstrating that it could grow while remaining united. Sweden, Austria, and Finland's membership strengthened the Union, shaping its trajectory over the last 3 decades. What do you think of the 1995 EU expansion? Was it a step in the right direction? Or was it the wrong decision? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that shaped our world 30 years ago.